Jen here, and I have a layout for you guys playing along with Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life's new Scrappy challenge, the ABC Scrappy challenge. This is a series that she's put together and a Facebook page that she's put together where she gives challenges every 2 weeks that are inspired by the alphabet. So the very first challenge was A, and she chose alphas, and I definitely knew I wanted to play along with this challenge because you guys all know I say it all the time. Titles are hard for me. I really struggle with them. I'm not sure why. I guess partly I think it's because I don't always feel like a layout needs a title. Oftentimes just the way that you've designed the layout, the embellishments you've put on a layout, the picture itself, it all is kind of self-explanatory, and I don't always feel like you necessarily have to have a title there to tell people what's going on or what the theme of the layout is or anything like that. And partially it's because I really just don't have a lot of alphas. I find them so expensive here in Canada, and I just don't have access to all the really nice ones that I swoon over in everybody else's videos. And then partly I think it's because that's just not the way my brain works. So I kind of think of the title last and end up putting my whole layout together, and then sometimes I legitimately just forget and go back later and go, oh, I didn't actually put a title on that. Maybe I should think about that. And sometimes once I get it all together, I can't figure out where to put it. So I just decide to not put it anywhere. But I thought that this challenge would be the perfect opportunity for me to try and do a super long title, see how many alphas I can get in there, how many words I can put in there, and just kind of fill up a whole layout with the title. Now, of course, this challenge definitely kind of inspires you to think outside the box. You don't have to use alphas just for titles. I definitely don't. One of my favorite things to do with alphas, especially those random ones that you don't find yourself using, I love just creating some sort of space or shape on your layout and then filling it all up with those alphas. And I've done that a few times on my layouts, and so it kind of takes your thickers or whatever alpha stickers you're using and turns them into more of an embellishment than trying to create a title or words. And so I like that. I think it's fun, and especially if you're doing something that's school related, or I've done a layout where I split my paper into 3 columns, and so each kid had their own column. I think it was kind of like a series where I took very close to the same picture of all 3 of the kids, so they were kind of all lined up together, so you kind of saw the same photo repeating with each child, and then just filled up the column with I think I only did I did just the first letter of their name. So I do really like that idea, but go onto the Facebook page and you will see tons and tons of inspiration and lots of ideas on how you can get some of those alphas used up in your stash. But for me, this was the perfect challenge to really push myself out of my comfort zone and create that really long title. So here you can actually see I'm trying to write it out and see where I can add in extra words and just really go over the top, embellishing what this title is supposed to be. And honestly, there really isn't a title that is meant to go with these photos. They don't have anything to do with each other. They were all taken on different days. I just love that when I'm going through my pictures for each month and I'm creating my little collages and getting them ready to print out, I always have a ton of Snapchat photos because my kids love it. They love playing around with Snapchat, and seeing what all the filters are. And oftentimes we find ourselves waiting in the car, waiting for Kaylin at dance, or waiting to pick something up, waiting for my husband. And so we'll just spend that 5 or 10 minutes playing with Snapchat and having fun and looking at all the filters. So I always have a ton of these pictures on my phone, just kind of sitting there. And so in 2018, I started putting them into collages and printing them off. And every one of my traveler's notebook inserts for the year has a whole bunch of these Snapchat collages in there. So I'm continuing that on with 2019 and 2020. And some months there's a ton of them, some months there isn't, but I thought that this would just be a really fun kind of random pictures to scrap. So I picked a month. I think these are from February or March of 2019, and there were 2 or 3 other sheets, or like I try to always put just 6 on a collage, and so I think there were probably 2 or 3 others, so I didn't really need this one. So I thought it kind of just makes a funny picture and it catches your attention. And my idea was to have this speech bubble on one side of the layout. So there's a whole bunch of pictures of me speaking. So yeah, I don't know. Just thought it was kind of a quirky, fun thing to go along with this quirky, fun title. So the background paper that I have there is from Studio Calico. It's from many years ago. I still have a ton of paper left over from when I was getting their monthly kits. And then that top paper is from Pink Fresh Studio. And I just kind of liked that one because it had the lines in it, and I thought it would make a good contrast to the black and white paper and kind of be a good speech bubble for me. And then those little embellishments that you see, those also come from the same Pink Fresh collection. So I think all of those were in a Secret Not Secret Kit Club kit that I got a couple of years ago. And then I just went and pulled out my thickers and kind of, I went for, here you can see the kind of blues and teals. I have some white. I went for pinks, but pinks that were more on that kind of corally orangey tone, and then black, gray, and yellow. The yellow comes from the fact that a lot of the embellishments that went with that collection have yellow in them, the little flowers that I plan to use, so that's where the yellow comes from. I didn't really want to have any really super bright colors that kind of contrasted or popped out more than others. But I also just kind of thought, like, whatever I end up picking, I'm happy with, as long as it all kind of fits in. So you can see here, my title says, "This is me conquering my fear of titles by creating an unnecessarily long title using as many different alphas to document these using many different alphas to document these Snapchat selfies for the ABC Scrappy Challenge." So yeah, I got lots of words in there. Oh, I have some gold thickers in there too. I think that that's kind of fun, and just they're a different texture. That was really what I was looking for, was the different textures, different shapes, different colors. And it's so much fun putting them all together, and you kind of have to look through each of your packs to see what words you can create with what different style. And so I think it turned out really cool. I'm happy with it. It fit. I started out with a little bit more space up at the top, and then had to kind of scrunch things in there, but I'm totally fine with that. I just think it was really fun, and it turned out really great. And I used up a whole bunch of alphas, some that I hadn't used in a really long time. Those kind of light blue ones, I think that they're definitely past their expiration date. They were really hard to peel off of their backing, and they were kind of leaving some foam behind. So I'm glad that I had a chance to pull those out and use up a bunch of them. And now I know that I need to keep them out and keep using them, because they're probably not going to last too much longer. I'm not going to be able to pull them off of their backing. So this was definitely a super, super fun challenge, and I really appreciate Christy for putting this whole challenge group together. I'm so excited about the letter B, so stay tuned for that. It will be up today as well, now that my voice is doing better and I can do all my voiceovers. And that's it. That's my layout. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can leave them for me down below. And until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.